So guys, now the questions, Q&A, the question that the students ask for us. What's the first one?
So Ryan says, what is the difference between having jiu-jitsu as a hobby and as a lifestyle?
Ryan Rios, one of our students here, want to know what's the difference between the lifestyle, jiu-jitsu lifestyle, and jiu-jitsu as a hobby.
As a regular student.
So for most, jiu-jitsu start as a hobby. You know, you're looking for some activities, a place that you want to belong, a place that you want to work out and learn self-defense. Maybe your first approach of jiu-jitsu is like, if I do twice a week, great. And that's how you start, you come twice a week. And then when you see you are not so anxious about the car that's in front of you in the red light, the light turns green, the car in front of you don't move, and then you realize that you're not in a hurry anymore. You're waiting for that car to go, and you go. Maybe before jiu-jitsu, you'd be like honking, like, come on, man, let's go, it's time to go, green light. You know, so those are the signs that you are turning your hobby in more in a lifestyle. Another example that I use is you used to have heavy meals at 10 p.m. Okay, that was your habit. You used to have like heavy meals at 10 p.m. But then in the morning, you wake up kind of slow, kind of sleepy, and now you are attending the 7 a.m. classes. And you feel like when you arrive to the gym at 7 a.m., you're still a little sleepy and your body's still like catching up. And then you start to realize like, if I don't eat a heavy meal at 10 p.m., I'm gonna have more energy for jiu-jitsu. There is jiu-jitsu tomorrow. So today, I'm gonna just drink a smoothie at 9. And I'm gonna sleep without having that heavy meal to see if I wake up next day with a little bit more energy, more ready to go at 7 a.m. And then you experience that one day and you feel like, man, that really works. I had more energy. I woke up a little easier. So it's another sign that now you are turning your hobby in a lifestyle. You see like the benefits, the connection of jiu-jitsu with your daily routine, with your habits and everything that you do. You know, you start to talk with somebody and this person talking more than you, and instead of you try to talk back at the same time, you just wait. You just wait and listen to everything what the person have to say, and you're more patient to hear what somebody have to tell you. It's another sign of you be more resilient and you waiting a little bit more to take action. And jiu-jitsu really teaches you that. Okay, like when you are in a bad position could be like a mount position. Somebody's mounting you and you're already tired. If somebody's mounting you, you fought all the way until somebody get control and mounting you. So usually when somebody is mounted, you are tired. And you know, like if you put even more there, if you put even more energy in that moment, then you're gonna just put everything out and your opponent gonna submit you from there. So you don't want to give that submission without put up a fight there and defend yourself as much as you can. So usually when you know jiu-jitsu and somebody mounting you, you wait a little bit. And the same thing if somebody talking, you would wait a little bit more and to assimilate the facts and have a better reaction and a better understanding, and of course have a better answer.
Yeah, I mean, hobby for me, for example, to define it and to be on the same page, right? So a hobby for me is like something that you do maybe once or twice a week that Jackson was mentioning that most of us starts like that, right? But then as a lifestyle, when I started here, I think I started a few days just with doing jiu-jitsu and then start to help at the gym and then start being a little bit more involved. So hobby, you're not as involved into it and you're not as deep into the learning, into the philosophies, into the mindset. It's just part of your life, right? It's still benefiting you somehow, but it's not as much as impactful as living it and doing it every day and actually having it in your mind and studying it. So it's something that you actually start to affect other parts of your life. So as a hobby, it impacts your life, but not as much as having it daily. So you basically see it and it doesn't feel like work. So sometimes as a hobby, you do it in those days and then you're gone. Like you don't even think of it again. For me, in my case, I see it every single day. I apply jiu-jitsu every single day and many other stuff. And I study jiu-jitsu every single day. Even though I'm trying to give a break from jiu-jitsu and rest, I still think about it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just a lifestyle, like the name says, lifestyle.
You live jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, you live it.
Yeah.
It's part of yourself.
Yeah.
Many philosophies you start to share in your
Yeah, for us that we work with jiu-jitsu, we sell jiu-jitsu, we teach jiu-jitsu every day.
Yeah.
You know, the lifestyle is even more intense regards to jiu-jitsu. And then
You're
we
there.
end up like fully involved in our families. You know, my wife, my kids, they're fully involved in the gym. Is my way to live jiu-jitsu end up contaminate other people around me, you know, and then when I see like all my surrounds are also part of my lifestyle.
Not contaminated, but you share it.
Yeah, contamination of
Contamination
jiu-jitsu is the best contamination, guys.
Awesome. So going to Juan now, this is something that is very common, and this is actually a question that I had before and that I told Jackson, and we talked about it a little bit. So Juan, why do a lot of fighters, when standing, lock up their shoulders and work for the underhooks? They don't really look to control the hips when standing. So for example, guys, let me paint the picture here so that way Jackson can give the answer. So in combatives, is something that we teach in the class here. We teach them to close the distance and to control the hips. Right? A person that is untrained, most of the times they don't realize about the hips. But the fighters, if you guys see the fights a lot, and that's why we do the UFC breakdowns, is because many of you guys watch it, they go a lot and they end up either in this over control or at least controlling the shoulders, right?
Yeah, but when I never want my opponent to control under my arms here. And the reason that I don't want this, because if they control under the arms, they are ready to control my hip. And the hip is what's keeping me alive here standing. So that's why in professional fights, you see this battle to at least have one underhook. If I have one arm under, I don't allow them to control my hip and my legs. And that's why there's this constant battle here. Now swing your hand in. There's this constant battle here of who have the double underhook control. Whoever gets the double underhook control here is gonna have control of the hip. And that's exactly why they fight so much to have this double underhook control, because whoever have the double underhook control here gonna have control of the hip and then can take down, can take the back, everything out of the hip control. That's why we keep battling. We call this pummeling. In the Master Cycle program, you're gonna study all these pummeling situations of don't let your partner easily control. A bad guy don't know that, and that's why in the combatives program, the beginning program, we teach how to go and control the hip to execute a takedown and control the bad guy on the ground.
Yeah.
You know, a bad guy is not a professional fighter that know how to pummeling and fight for the hip control. They would like do open, expose the hip by trying to punch you in the face or whatever, exposing the hip, giving us the hip control, and then that's why jiu-jitsu is so efficient and fairly easy to take somebody that don't know jiu-jitsu to the ground because they don't know the value of the hip control.
Yeah, they're just untrained. So in combatives, it's a little bit easier to get. Then when we start to get a little bit more advanced, then we start to talk about this stuff, right? So it's amazing. Guys, appreciate the questions. Please send in more. And remember, we're in Gracie Jiu Jitsu West Houston. We're in the West Houston area. And we believe a lot that jiu-jitsu should be safe, it should be fun, and it should be taught in a structured way.
Yeah.
So if you're always being thinking about jiu-jitsu, you saw the UFC, or maybe you saw the questions that we answered, or the story time from which actually you liked it very much, always try to visit us, try it out. We got 10-day trials for you to do. So the first thing to do, go to the website that we have probably in the description, then reserve the 10-day trial. That's going to be the first thing that you're going to see. And then pick a day for you to come in. After you pick a day, come to the class.
Trial, guys, to try the
try
classes.
it out. Yeah.
Try the program, make sure you like it. And I have another funny story before we finish. Yesterday I was at Trader Joe's buying groceries. And I know a guy from Trader Joe's that works there because I go there all the time. And he comes to me holding another employee by the hand like, hey, Jackson, come here. He do jiu-jitsu, I want to introduce you guys. And the employee there like, oh man, I always see you coming here wearing jiu-jitsu shirts and I train the gym down the road here. Tell me about your gym. And then I told him a little bit, man, we are at Gracie University, you know Henry Hiro? He said, of course I know Henry Hiro, all the YouTube videos. And then I told him about structure and safety and he like, wow, this is crazy. We don't talk about none of that at my gym. At my gym is go, go, go. But the reason I'm going there is because it's very close to my house and I can walk. And I say, man, as long as you're doing jiu-jitsu, it's so good. But if one day you get discouraged or you think that jiu-jitsu is too hard for you, then you need to come to our school and try it one more time. Give yourself one more chance. And he said, man, I'm excited. I'm gonna definitely keep you in mind. And then he told me already that it is hard. It is hard. He already like, yeah, jiu-jitsu is really hard, isn't it? It is hard if totally wrong. Okay, if you think jiu-jitsu is too hard for you, go to Gracie University and check what you can find there. The way I did, as a black belt already, I thought jiu-jitsu was too hard and was breaking my body apart. And I said, there is a different way, and Gracie University was the answer. And it's been like 7, 8 years already that I've been training injury-free. And we train every day, don't we? Every day. So guys, we're looking forward to see you here. If you cannot access to any of our schools, any school is gonna be worth to try.
Yeah, so Gracie University, that's for the lessons online, and we're certified by Gracie University. So if you want to access our school because you live in West Houston, then you can go to Gracie Jiu Jitsu. Go to Gracie Jiu Jitsu West Houston to access our school. If you want to access the online lessons, Gracie University. See you guys in the mat.